Hi, my name is Wayne Northup. I have the privilege of being the lead pastor at Saints Community Church in New Orleans. I also have the privilege of being a part of the CMN family. I want to take a few minutes and I want to talk to you about what to do after you have found the right venue. At this point in your journey, you should be about 4 to 6 months out from the launch of your church, and you found that right venue. What do you do now? What are your next steps to take? Here they are. Number 1, confirm in writing your venue choice. Listen, you might have a verbal yes from the owner that you can meet in that space, but a yes is not a yes until it's in writing. You want to make sure that it's in writing that you want to meet there, and it's in writing that they want you. They're giving their thumbs up in writing. That might even just be a simple email, but you want to make sure that you've got a written confirmation that you're going to meet in that space. The second step is I want you to do a complete walkthrough of the space. Here's a few secrets when you're doing that walkthrough of the space. You need to make sure that you bring everybody on your lead team that you need involved in the meeting spaces of that venue, and you need to make sure anybody on the other end that's going to be involved comes as well. Let me break that down for you. Don't go and do that walkthrough without your kids' ministry team leader walking through those spaces with you so they can dream about here's where we could put this classroom and this classroom. Don't come to that walkthrough without your live production person, the person that's going to decide where to set up the chairs and where to put the screens and where they're going to put the soundboard. You need to make sure that you've got the right people with you on that walkthrough, and you need to make sure that they have the right people. So maybe there's somebody that's going to let you in every single Sunday. That maintenance person or whoever it is needs to be a part of that walkthrough, because everybody's going to be verbally processing what it's going to look like for you to use that space. Make sure that the venue owner, whoever gave you the thumbs up, the yes, is there as well. And as you're walking through that space, here's another tip for you. Make sure that both of you are clear on what can and can't happen. You need to ask questions that may seem obvious, like, can we use these bathrooms? Because maybe those restrooms they don't want you to use. Maybe there's a certain hallway that they don't want you to ever go down on Sundays. You need to make sure that you're really clear as you're doing that walkthrough on what can and cannot happen. Here's the third step that you need to take after you found the right venue. Make sure that you have an MOU agreement that includes the following things. Now, before I dive into the thing, some of you may say, what's an MOU? I've never even heard of that. That's simple. It's short for a memorandum of understanding. That's actually just a better word than for the word contract. That's actually what it is. It's a contract. So what should your MOU include? Here's some specifics. The first one is this: the exact spaces that you are going to be using. Make sure all the way down to the exact bathrooms. You want to make sure that you include every single space that your church is going to be using for that in that venue. The second thing that MOU needs to include is the exact financial specifics. It's not only exactly how much you're going to be paying, but when you're going to be paying, how much you're going to be paying, how they want that payment made. All of those very specifics need to be included in that MOU. The third specific thing is the times you're going to arrive and the times that you're going to leave that space. So they need to know in that MOU, we're arriving about this time on Sundays, we're going to be leaving by this time on Sundays. The next thing is the responsibilities of the owner. And so if they decide we don't want to give you a key, we're actually going to we're going to have somebody come and meet you to open up the facility. That means that needs to be included in that MOU. And then the other thing is your responsibilities. Do they want you to clean the space, the venue, before you leave on Sundays? You need to make sure that that's included in that MOU. Every single detail possible, even beyond the list that I just gave you, needs to be included in that MOU agreement. Number 4, the fourth step is here's what you need to know. Your first venue will most likely not be your last venue. And that's good news, right? You may go, this wasn't the first one on our dream list. I can't believe this is where we're meeting. The good news is this is probably not gonna be your last location. Your first one most likely will not be your last one. And then the last thing that I wanna give you, a piece of advice, the fifth step is this: make blessing your venue a big part of your job. You need to make sure that, man, blessing that venue owner and blessing that venue is a permanent part of your job. Get creative with this. Maybe you can send the venue owner a gift card to go on a date with their spouse. Maybe you could, if you're in a school, you could buy every single teacher in that school, you could buy them gifts and leave a gift basket on their desk. Maybe you could paint the venue. Listen, make blessing that venue a big part of your job, because it's not only the right thing to do, it's also a great way to keep that relationship strong so you can keep meeting in that location as long as God wants you to. Listen, I want to encourage you. God's got the right location for you, and He's got the right way for you to go about getting into that location. God bless you. Thanks for listening.